Hey, good morning. We are just getting started on this good old Fender acoustic guitar. Belongs to a young man. His dad brought it in to get it set up for him. I think it's kind of maybe a belated Christmas gift or something like that. And so I'm just doing the preliminary crap on this one. Hello, Charlie, what's up? Hey, Rody, what's happening? Hello, everybody. You guys, it's great to see you this morning. I was good to see you guys both last night on the stream. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you guys' input on my stream and helping Preston out in any way. I know he was enjoying. Got to be careful. I'll scratch up the guitar. I haven't heard from him yet today, but hopefully he's doing better. And hopefully whatever changes he has in store, lifestyle or otherwise, will help him get feeling better. So he's been a good friend of mine for a long time. I'm just pulling the old strings off of this bad boy, and we'll get her going here soon. That old using Kettner sure did sound good last night. I was really happy with my tone. I did some EQ adjustments on it last night just to kind of tweak it a little bit. Oh, and here we go. Tying knots in guitar strings. Here we go. Here we go again. You know where I'm going with this. Alright, so this is what we'll just say amateur hour at this point. This is what somebody who doesn't know any better does to their instrument. Probably because they've never played a gig before and broken a string on stage. But they'll tie their strings in a knot up here and make it really difficult to get them off of here. So what I have to do, I mean, imagine doing this at a gig. I always say that, but because I play music at a level that's I don't know, not similar for a lot of amateur guitarists. My journeyman's sitting here laughing at me talking like I am, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Neither one of us put strings on guitars, and he's strung up probably 18,000 times the amount of guitars I ever have, but he would never do this either. Oh, look at that. That always happens too. You never know what's going to happen with that. Oh, hey, that one. So just the B string was tied in a knot. How about that? That's cool. So that's how you want to string them up, because the guitar actually held tune really well. But when you do that with your strings, you risk cutting them. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, that nut fits pretty nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that back on there, and we'll grab a little bit of this good old-fashioned thick, runny plastic nut, nonetheless. Let me see, is my bottle gonna work? This bottle is damn near empty. Okay, I gotta clear the bottle because there's a big old chunk of glue in there that's not letting my glue come through. And what I just used was a tiny little pair of tweezers there for when I get slivers from poking my finger with a piece of wood that comes off of a guitar. Come on, there we go. One tiny little dot, one other tiny little dot. That's all it takes. You don't have to do more than that, and actually that's way more than is needed. But then I use my fingers to guide the nut back onto its position, and then feel them. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Alright, so that's on there. And then we'll just hit it with a little shot of accelerator. So I don't have to stand here and hold it for a while. And we'll wipe that off of there, and now the nut won't come back off of there for a while. So I'm going to have to do some classic tightening up of the hardware. I hope everybody can hear me all right. Let me see. Independent Men United. Hello. What's the difference of slacking the strings before cutting them? Just cutting them. Well, boy. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much Rhodey hit it on the head. But you know, I don't like cutting strings that are under tension simply because of the, and I can't say that it would damage an instrument because I have cut them under full string tension, but I'm not a fan of the big snap that happens and what can happen with the truss rod potentially. You relieve all that stress and the neck will bend on you really quickly. That's physics in my mind kind of take over at that point. So I prefer to loosen the string tension before I cut them. But of course on an acoustic guitar, I don't cut them very often. I'd say maybe 20% of the time I'll go ahead and cut them off, you know, down near the saddle, just to oh boy, let's see. And we got all kinds of stuff falling out of this guitar. So there was a shim in the neck, piece of plastic. This is probably a pretty good shim. And what is this? Oh, there's two shims. And so the neck was shimmed, the saddle was shimmed like this, and I can almost tell that the other guitar shop, whatever, there's another guitar shop, they probably did this. And the string action on this instrument was way too high. So I'm just going to leave these shims out of there, and we'll put strings. Now I measured them, I measured the string height before I took the strings off of it, and I measured 8/64 on the bass E string and 7/64 on the treble E string, and that means I need to reduce the string action by 3/64 on the bass side and 3/64. So ultimately I needed to lower the whole string action 3/64 on both sides for it to be where I consider a guitar to be playable. Anything higher than 5/64 on an acoustic guitar, and I think you're working way too hard, and you're causing intonation issues because you're having to push the string down to hit the fret way too far. There's just no need to have that, make it that hard on yourself. Yeah, you can always change the string gauges and make it easier to push the strings down, but still having string action that high is bad for intonation. So yeah, I recommend, if you're going to cut the strings off, loosen the string tension. Just take your where's mine? Take your old string winder, and if you don't own one of these, get one. If you play guitar, even if you only change your strings once every 6 months, which some guys do, or a year, some guys do that also. Loosen it. It's a really quick thing, and I feel like I'm being more gentle on the guitar neck, which is a very sensitive piece of the instrument. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that's a great question, Charlie. I appreciate when folks ask me really smart questions. That's a good one. There are no bad ones. Let me point you down here at the action. So I've tightened up all the nuts on the top of this thing, and now I'm just cinching up the set screws on the back here. As you can see, some of them are a little bit loose. This happens over time. Yeah, all of these are just slightly loose. So now we've got much more string stability, so these things can't rotate on you. Interesting how these are all kind of tilted funny, but we'll just leave it at that. This is a very inexpensive guitar, so I don't expect anything to be too terribly, you know, it's not like it's a, you know, an Epiphone even, with respect to Fender acoustic guitars. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not a fan of Fender acoustic guitars, but you set one up properly and they're as good as any other. So there's that. I've gotten all that squared away. A couple of little dings on the back of the neck. I'm just kind of looking the guitar over right now just to see what kind of shape it's in. So that looks pretty good. And so now I get to do the classic, I'm going to clean the fingerboard for this young man. I think this guitar was actually a gift for this young man for Christmas. Oh man, was my, yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and polish up the frets. This is all just the kind of preliminary stuff, and let's see, my semi-chrome polish. I'm just about out of this stuff, but well, when I get done with this, I'll show you one of the other instruments that I'm in the midst of working on right now. Really cool old Yamaha Acoustic that is under a bunch of clamps right now. I got it all clamped up, so we're gonna, whoop, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So obviously these frets up here on an acoustic guitar don't generally get used much, so they get really nasty looking. So we want to make this look nice for this young man. His dad brought the instrument in, and you know, I want to do a good job for him and make it look you know, a little more pleasing to play and not all beat up looking. Some of these frets are really nasty, and you can see all of the DNA that's on the fingerboard right now. We'll get all that stuff off of here soon enough. I've got to go through this process, and y'all have watched me do this many times, so this is going to be the first part of these videos is generally pretty repetitious of other live streams that I've done, but I like to show this because this might be the one stream that some kid or guitar player watches and it goes, oh wow, I should do that the next time I change strings on my guitar. And then he's got a nice looking, his guitar looks a whole lot nicer. And the other thing with all this stuff, I mean, you might reach up and bend strings up here, and if these frets are all oxidized and nasty, it can make those bends really uncomfortable to play. We want to be able to bend notes on an instrument like this. It's one of the beautiful things about a guitar. I say it all the time. Bend a note on a piano. I dare you. Right? One of the beautiful things about a guitar is that we have almost an infinite number of pitches we can hit because we can bend a note, and sometimes those notes that you bend that are out of tune are some of the most beautiful notes ever. And if you watch guys like Greg Koch and Guthrie Govan, Tommy Emmanuel, he doesn't bend a lot, but he does once in a while. Boy, their bends are just beautiful. And if you've got a guitar that bends nice and smoothly, and you can bend the notes and they end up in pitch and all that stuff, you work on that sort of stuff, developing those skills. Having a guitar with very well cleaned frets and polished frets can really make that experience pleasing to the ear. If they are gummed up and oxidized and such, it can be a pretty terrible experience. And these frets are all really bad. I don't know how well my camera is showing the difference between before and after, but my eye is going, wow, dude, these things are nasty. Another thing you can do to really help is wash your hands before you play guitar. You know, if you work a job where you're working on cars or grease, or you know, you're getting guck on your fingers and they're dirty, clean your hands. Don't spend a lot of time under a sink though, because it will potentially cause your calluses to get softened up, and you can wear your calluses right off your fingertips. and I know this is all basic rudimentary amateur guitar advice. If you've been playing for a while, you probably know better than to play a guitar with greasy fingers, but I thought I'd throw it out there just for those who may not even think about something like that. Another thing you can do is keep a rag handy, and you can see all of that's what happened in just that little move that I made. I know you couldn't probably see all of that work that I just did, but and one tiny little shot of semi-chrome polish will do it. And this one's getting low, but in preparation for the day that this one runs out, which is not too far in the future, I've got this one, so I will not run out. So now I'm gonna break out the old my favorite toothbrush that I used this morning to clean my teeth. My teeth are nice and shiny now because I brush my teeth every day. They do get stained though from drinking too much coffee. Well, not too much, just drinking coffee in general. And so I'm going to use some semi-chrome now, or some simple green to do this part. And hang on. All right, where's my toothbrush? Where did I put that? There it is. There it is. All right, so we got our toothbrush here. And I'm going to go ahead and clean the fingerboard with some of this. Do the classic, and see, you can see all the gunk that comes off of my teeth, right? So this is probably going to get kind of nasty on there. This guitar really has a lot of gunk on it, so I'm gonna have to go over it probably twice to get all of the DNA off of here. And I kind of started in a random spot here out in the middle. The one thing about using the simple green is that all of this that you can see that's getting on the body and it'll drip down the sides of the neck, you want to be damn certain you get all of that off the instrument, because as good of a cleaner as this stuff is, it will leave stains, especially in like a maple or a light colored fingerboard, because of all, you can see how much gunk is coming off there. It can stain the finish on a guitar. So fair warning, if you do go through this process, be sure to, the moment you're done cleaning this, get all the simple green drips off of the neck, because it can leave a bit of a mess. And with this one, I can see these places where the DNA is. I'm going to hit this again just to kind of help get a little bit more of the cleaning agent on here to help. There we go. You want to be really careful about letting this stuff, you can see it's dripping over the edge of the instrument. If I wipe my hand along there, there's a lot on the back of the neck. Be sure to get all of that off of there. You know, I offer this advice, but sometimes I don't cover the little things that you really have to pay close attention to well enough. So I want to be very clear on that, because I'd hate to see you do this and then go, oh man, I got big black drips down the back of my neck. You can get it off of there with some polish, but it can literally stain the instrument, the lacquer. So I know I'm being really thorough today, but I'm well rested and cleaning. You know, I say it all the time, but I spend a good portion of my time working on instruments, literally cleaning them. And that's what my clients expect, because they get their guitars back from me and their necks just look so new and you know, refreshed. So I've gone over the top of it, right? But here's what I'm talking about. If I flip this neck over, look at all that's gotten on the back. Do not forget to wipe this stuff off of here as quickly as you can. Don't let it sit on there and soak in, because it will leave potentially leave stains. You can definitely get it off there again with some polish, but you just made a bunch of extra work for yourself. That's what I like to get done as quickly as possible without having to do a bunch of extra stuff, or waste steps is what I like to call it. When I was plumbing houses, you didn't walk from the van to the truck without carrying something extra. All right? If you did that, you wasted a trip. If you got something in one hand, put something in the other hand, because you can always carry something extra, and even if you won't use it till tomorrow, you know, you save yourself a trip. There we go. There's that. I'm gonna have to get a new rag here. So this is I'm getting down through the initial cleaning part of it, and I'm gonna let this neck sit here and dry, and get the semi-chrome, or the let the what is it called, simple green, dry, and get so there's no liquid left in the fingerboard that I'm going to seal in with when I put some linseed oil on it, which will really bring it back to life. It's one of my favorite parts, as you all know, working on guitars. And I'm going to take a look at the chat, see if any questions have been asked, or anybody has anything fun going on. And share any thoughts you might have in the chat, because you might have some information that somebody that I haven't shared that somebody else might want to know, or need to know. Guitars are very delicate instruments, and they need to be cared for very carefully. Again, I'm being very careful to get all of the simple green off of the instrument. Okay, so, and the other thing you may have noticed is that I'm doing this with the putting this right here when I was spraying it. That keeps the simple green from getting down and getting on the label of the guitar, because it will leave little black spots all over that. And if you're working on, say, an old Gibson, that is not cool, right? All right, Michael Songs, welcome, brother. Good to see you, man. Have you sat down yet? I'm curious. I love the fact that you do that, man. You remind me of my dad. Of course, my dad's 83, and he's got hair longer than yours, but he could still probably climb Mount Hood right now and laugh all his way, all the way up there. He's very, very healthy, and he's much like you. He likes to, I don't know, he's very physically active. Still digs his garden up every year, and he's working on trying to get a gut, but he just can't seem to do it because he just works out too much, and very healthy. I'm hoping I follow in his footsteps. So far I'm doing okay. We're built exactly the same. In fact, if you stood us next to each other, him being the ripe young age of, he's 83 now. No, he's 82. He'll be 83 in a week from now. So he's almost 83. This is a wonderful young man. All right. Now I'm noticing that my rag is also hanging up on the edges of these frets, and also there were some frets up in here. I'm probably gonna have to glue down a couple of these frets, because I noticed that some of the frets had popped up on this. So before I go any further than this, and while I'm waiting for this to the cleaning agents to make sure that the fretboard is dry and such, what I'm gonna do real quick is use my good old 65. I haven't broke out the jug jar that the Falco gave me over the holiday weekend. I'm just going to continue using this one because it's already open. The Falco gave me a lifetime supply of good old-fashioned 65 Dunlop guitar polish, and I'm just cleaning up the instrument now, cleaning all the, oh boy, there we, I just did it. I love not having a long enough cable. Give me a second here, I gotta pick some stuff up. Okay. Alright, I got him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's one more of those that fell down here someplace. Where did you go? Just 1 second. I literally knocked a end pin. Oh, that was missing one. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to do a new set of pins on another instrument that and I'll show you that one here in a few minutes that I'm working on right now. It's under a bunch of clamps. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. My dad's he's also the first human being that showed me how to play a chord on a guitar, and I am forever grateful, because here I am 47 years later doing the exact same thing, and I ain't kidding. Alright, so also on this instrument I'm noticing some the ubiquitous white spots on a guitar. You can see the stream going over here. Let me clean my lens. It looks a little messy. Sorry guys. I'm getting seasick from all the movement. It's a new year. So every guitar has to have these white spots where it gets set down on a painted wall, or you know, a floor that's been painted or something. It's these little white spots. So what I like to do is use a little bit of my semi-chrome. Now if you got these white spots, now I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm going to hold this up. We've got white spots along here and like right in here, right? So I'm going to try and get you down here in the business. Let me get my camera set up here so you can see what I'm up to. Hopefully that's showing what I'm seeing here, right here. And I'm going to take a little bit of this semi-chrome and we'll make those little spots vanish. So a little teeny bit like that, and we'll make these white spots literally go away. Again, I'm not sure if this was a gift for Christmas or if his dad wanted me to just set this thing up for him as a Christmas gift. I'm not 100% certain, but now these white scratches and dings are no longer on the instrument, so he won't have to see that stuff. And just like that, they vanished. And there's a couple others on here, so I'm gonna again use my little spot. I'm finding, you know, the more I look into it, I can see white little dings and paint scratches and paint smudges. If an instrument doesn't have those in it, there's something wrong, because every amplifier and every guitar ever made has to have white specks on it. That's just a rule of guitar world. I think what's his name, Uncle Doug, he calls them the ubiquitous white spots, which I love. Sounds like something's, what we got in there? Oh, look at that. You know, another thing I like to do is to get rid of the dust bunnies and the guitar picks that people drop in their guitars, because, well, I got the hole open right now. I can get them out of there. Here's dust bunny number 1, right? We'll get that out of there. And then, let's see, come out of there, guitar pick. Look at that. Now he'll have an extra guitar pick to use. I'm also noticing that the saddle doesn't stay put in there. So what I'm gonna do with the saddle, now that I've cleaned the guitar, let's move the camera over here and get this down. Hope everybody's having a good New Year. I'm so far, this year has been very, very busy for me. Also, keep some blue tape around your place in case something falls off your guitar that you can't put back on it. You can just tape it to the guitar like that and you won't lose it. right? See? There, it won't go anywhere. Alright, there we go. Little tricks that I use to keep track of stuff. Okay. So this saddle, every time I move the guitar, it's going to fall off and onto the floor and I'll never see it again. That's how things go for me. Alright, so where are we at now? We got cleaned. Let me look at the back of this thing now. See, I can flip the guitar over and the saddle doesn't fall out. I'm going to go ahead and clean the back of it with some polish. We'll get you up here or just maybe see a little better. Hopefully that's alright. My camera guy, his New Year's resolution was to quit drinking. So we'll see how he does thus far. We'll see how he does from here forward. He drinks a lot, so he can't follow me most of the time. He's just too slow. It's nice to have a cameraman though. Okay. Yeah, and this guitar has a few dings in it where it's taken some hits. There we go. That look pretty. I'm just cleaning the headstock, the back of the headstock again. Machine heads. There we go. Okay. Now, I remember some frets were, when I checked this guitar when it came in, there were some frets where it was fretting out. And I know that there are some tall frets. Yeah, that one right there. So what I'm going to do first, as a preemptive strike here, we're going to and this is a brass hammer. It's softer than the frets, so it doesn't dent the frets, it dents the hammer, right? I'm going to have to go over this thing. There we go. Now that problem is solved. And I'm checking to see if any of these frets are high. Going over it very gently right now. There we go. Now, and see, just like that, I can make sure that the frets are flat. And when a guitar shrinks, the frets will often get pushed up out of the fingerboard, and so you end up with tall frets. And you know, one of my favorite things to do is to hit a guitar with a hammer. Right? And if it doesn't get them down, I get the authority side of this thing and really seems like this fret was the one that was really causing some trouble. And I can see now when I tap down on the edges of these, I can see that they get pushed down because out of the end of the fret squeezes some DNA that's gotten underneath the fret where it's lifted, and you can see the stuff gush out the end. fret. Now you might be going, oh, you're hitting that guitar and you don't have anything holding the neck up. Well, I got, this is, I'm not hurting anything, I promise. Ask me how many times I've done this. Okay. Yeah, here we go. And this thing had, seriously, what I will tell you is that when the guitar was brought in, I played the instrument. Oops, let me make sure Cheryl Crow isn't in there. Cheryl Crow will ban my video, and then you won't be able to watch it anymore because she doesn't want people seeing her on my YouTube stream, regaining her attention in the world of guitar players, right? Which is what I got. Have a great day, Michael. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully we'll catch you live again. Yeah, it's with Dylan Handmade Pickups. Dylan. I haven't. I live in a very small corner of the world, so I can't say that I've ever seen a Dylan. But I wish I could say yes, but it's difficult. Now, when I played the instrument, you would fret a note at the 12th fret, and it would actually fret the note on the 14th fret. And that one was definitely tall, and I just went over that part of the neck, and that fret was 100% taller than all of the rest of them. But I went ahead of that and found other ones that were tall and have tapped them back down into the fingerboard. Now, what a guy might do, and I may still have to do this, is you may have to put a little bit of super glue, some very runny, and you gotta be super careful if you ever work with runny super glue on a guitar, because it will go everywhere but where you want it to go, or it will go where you want it to go and then everywhere else. So I do not recommend, if you haven't done it before, do not use runny super glue on guitars unless you have experience, and keep paper towels close by. But put a little bit of runny, a little teeny drop of runny super glue in it, and what you can do is just push down on the fret with, say, an object like this. You just push down on the edge of the fret where you need it to stick, and then hit it with some accelerator. That will hold the fret down in the fingerboard. There you go. That's not always a solve, but man, it can really make a big difference in if you've got to do fret work like this. So now the 12th fret is tall, right? So here we go. And I'm gonna try and give you guys a close-up view of what I mean when I say I can see the stuff gush out of the side. Now what I'm doing here is I'm kind of rocking this thing back and forth to see if I have any wobble. You can hear it. Hopefully you can hear that.
I got
yes.
to run out to the shop to grab a mouthpiece puller.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Cool. Yeah. What's going to happen here is I'm likely going to get to a spot where this rocking will stop. Yeah, and right there, it seems like I may have found the final maybe. Yeah, so this guitar has dried out a lot. and the frets have pushed up out of the fingerboard. Okay, we're looking really good here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm not talking to myself. You'd be like, I went to this shop today and this weirdo was talking to himself.
Don't worry, I do it all the time. All the time.
Yep.
The best company I have.
Well, yeah, hey, I keep myself entertained, I tell you what.
Right tool for the job. The
Oh boy,
mouthpiece puller.
mouthpiece puller.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, that's where that went. I was looking for that. Thank you, Stu.
See if that works.
Okay,
They're hard to get out, and sometimes they take heat and everything else.
so
Try the old reliable here.
giving these a good old wipe down one last time. And so now I've taken care of all of the frets. Now I'm going to recheck up in here just to see. You know, it can't hurt to double check your work, because this thing had some serious fretting out, where you'd fret a note in one place and it would fret 2 frets up the fingerboard from where you were fretting a note. And I believe that I've gone through this and really done a good job of getting this thing all leveled out. If it gets real bad, in some cases you do have to do a fret level and crown. I'm feeling really good right now about this one, as bad as it was. Now, I failed to show you what I could see squirting out of the ends of it, but literally you smack the edge of the fret and some DNA will squirt out the end of it. It'll be some blackish or greenish colored goo will shoot out one side of it. And then after doing that, I have to be real careful, because sometimes the very far edge of the fret will create a little bit of a cheese grater effect. And now I'll take my good old file here. This one in particular, I can see it. Knock that off of there. A couple of tiny little swipes and we're back to normal. There we go. And the frets feel pretty darn good on this one. Alright, now I'm wondering what the neck is doing right now for neck relief, and I'm going to check this real quick. Oh boy. Well, right now this guitar has a big old underbelly in it right now, and it's a 4mm hex key. Where's my favorite? There she is. So the neck has a big, huge underbow in it, very deep. It's probably out here in the middle. It's probably 60 or 70 thousandths. So I'm going to tighten the truss rod. I'm going to give it a couple of half turns or quarter turns here. Let's see what that did. Okay, now we're getting close. And what I like to do on an instrument like this, it's very far out of adjustment, and one that I've never worked on before, I like to start with a flat fingerboard, put strings on it, and then fine-tune the neck relief on the instrument. And it may have been a little bit wiser for me to do this first before I leveled the frets, so we're going to recheck that. I've wasted a step ultimately, but now we're talking. Now the neck is basically perfectly flat. I'm going to give it one more little turn. Right? These are the little things that you can do to make your instrument just as close to perfect as you can get it, without having to take it into a guitar shop. But you got to own the tools, and you can spend a lot of money on this stuff, so fair warning. Sometimes it's worth it to just pay somebody to do it. So now I can see that I've got a tall fret right here. Let me double check that. Yeah, I'm gonna Isn't this fun?
No tax
Everybody give a good warm thought to Mr. Preston Smith. He's in the hospital right now getting some treatment for some problems he's having with his health. I wish him the best. This one fret. There we go. There we go.
Right tool for the job.
Let me see that. What the heck is it?
It's a mouthpiece puller. And what you do is just slip this on the mouthpiece on there, and then you loosen those pin seals together on the right above the.
Oh.
Tighten those down, and then you
It pulls it apart. It's like a steering wheel puller.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't do anything, and then all of a sudden, bang.
Ah.
But that is, I have that hidden
They
on the
get
shelf.
stuck in there.
I don't use it very often, maybe once a year.
Yeah.
But if you ever need it.
Okay. I remember that. I could always take a hammer.
Yeah. That's it happened to that one. Somebody hit it on the end of the mouthpiece, to pop it in there.
Yeah.
And then it was welded.
Yeah.
I've used this thing about 20 times over the years.
Oh boy, I'll bet. Yeah, those things can be a pain in the butt.
I usually charge
to get
people,
out.
but she's just bought a TV from us, so.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, figured I'd just do a charity thing there.
Let's see. Yeah. Hey, where did my paper towels go? Where are my? How am I missing this? Wait a minute here. Where? Oh, where? That my paper towels are probably sitting right in front of my face, and I am not seeing them. Did somebody borrow them from me this morning? Oh, there they are. They were right in front of my face. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and oil up the fingerboard, and then we'll start putting strings on her. What do you think? Sound good? Let me see. Hey Zach, what's happening? Oh, I missed a roadkill down the road. There's about 20 turkey. Ha ha ha. Show it on camera. I don't know what I missed showing you, man. My camera guy said he quit drinking, but I don't know if I believe him. The little edges on the frets. I do my best when I'm doing these to try and pay as close attention to the chat as I can, but I also have to stay focused on the work because people are paying me to do this. So I've gotten the fingerboard oiled, and now I'm gonna oil the bare wood on the bridge here. Yeah, the little metal flakes that when you tap these down, they just stick out a little bit, and when you run your finger along the fingerboard, you can feel them. And I don't like that, nor should that ever be left alone, which, believe me, I've worked on guitars that other people have worked on that they don't do that. And oh, he did a fret level and crown and all that stuff for it, and the frets feel like a cheese grater. And with this linseed oil, you just wipe it on and wipe it off. Don't leave it on there in a thick coat. It will make your fingerboard real shiny, and it'll look all pretty and stuff, but it can get sticky. So fair warning on that also. Make sure to wipe all the excess oil off of the guitar. I'm about due for a new rag here. I think I'm going to grab a different one just to be sure. I'm going to get this off of here now. Come on. There we go. Put that right there. Here we go. Alright, here we go. We're getting close. And also you want to be careful about a rag like this that has linseed oil on it. This stuff it's known to have spontaneously combusted. Throwing it in a garbage can, especially if it gets compressed. So throw these, get them wet, and then throw them away. Like I just did. Alright. Alright, where are my cutters? Where are you? Where are my cutters? Come here, cutters. Where cutters are missing? Where are my wire cutters? Where is? There they are, right where I left them. Come on. Time for a new rag. Just for the heck of it. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. Now, again, I spend half my time cleaning. Alright. We need some 10 gauge acoustic, or 11 gauge acoustic guitar strings. What are those? Those are not 11s. I gotta go grab a set of 11s. Make sure I don't have any. No, I don't have any. Hang on, I'll be right back. Well, I've had a run of new folks showing up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Doc. He doesn't ever participate in any of my streams. My stuff's way too smart for him. He doesn't like me because I'm smart. And I'm not terribly respectful, I guess. So this saddle, I'm not liking how that's sitting in there. I really should. I'm gonna test a different one. Yeah, I hope he's doing all right though. He won't ever subscribe or be a part of my streams or comment on my streams because I don't know why. It's kind of funny. I think he's hilarious. And I think you're talking about the Doc who I think you're talking of. But I don't know what's going on with him. Let me see here. Yeah, let me check. Let's see. I don't even know if this saddle will fit. Yeah, it doesn't, and in both ways. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the original one. And I know why they raised the saddle, because they had tall frets, and so the string action was just really super high on this, which technically was the wrong thing to do because you can level the frets out like I did. We'll see if that worked or not. I hope Doc is doing okay. Play guitar every so often. Cloth and wipe back. Yeah, wipe the back of the neck. Good man, Zach. That'll keep it nice and tidy and smooth. And you know, if another thing that I've done on my acoustic guitar is because it's mine and I'll die with it, and I don't know who's gonna get it when I die, but because somebody will just break into my house and steal it, but probably in today's world. I take some 600 grit sandpaper because my neck on my acoustic guitar was lacquered, and I rough it up every once in a while, meaning I run that sandpaper over it very lightly to create a more of a, not a satin finish, but definitely makes it less sticky, as smooth lacquer can do. It can make your neck feel real sticky. I don't know if any of y'all have tried that, but that's a good little trick. I don't use anything heavier gauge than 600, meaning I don't use 400 or 320 or anything like that. So we'll go up to this end and we'll go through the whole. Here's how I wind guitar strings. My elbows. Oh, let me point it at the where it's supposed to be. That's the business end of things. My camera guy again. He said he quit drinking, but I don't believe him. I don't think so. I just don't think he did. There we go. We'll see what happens here. Might be able to get away with having really low string action on this old Fender guitar, I don't know. Because as I tighten these strings, notice as we'll see what happens here. Because I'm seeing really low string action because the saddle was shimmed a lot. But I don't know how necessary that was, to be honest. One, two. And once again, I hope everybody had a really happy New Year. Really happy, fun New Year. Stayed out of trouble. I hope 2024 is as good as 2023 was for everybody. I had a really great year. My house didn't burn down this year. It burned down 2 years ago, technically. Right? So this year has been pretty darn good. And I haven't had to live next to dope addicts. So I'm really glad about that. Let's see how close we are. Tuning. I was pretty close. So now I'm going to take a look at the string action here at the 12th fret, and it's way too low. It's 3/64 and 2/64. So I need to raise that just slightly, and this shim was already in there, so let's measure it, and we'll see how many fractions of an inch this is thick. I'm guessing it's a 32nd, which might just be just enough to oop, come on. And I was exactly right. It's 1/32 of an inch. So I'm going to watch this. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me work here. This is how I do this. Oh, yeah, that's good. I got too much. Oh, so everything hit the floor. Got way so much stuff on my bench that I gotta. Okay. So here's what we do. Just loosen up the strings. Just loosen them up. And that's why one of these string winders is vital. Alright. Now, I haven't even played this guitar, but I already know that the string action is way too low. Even if it worked, it would be uncomfortably low to play this guitar with string action that low. If it was a you know, say an Ibanez with a speed neck or something like that, it may not be so low that it wouldn't be doable, I suppose. But loosen these strings up and pull this saddle out of here. All right, and then I'll go ahead and drop this shim down in here, just like so. And it fits pretty nicely. There we go. This guitar does not have a pickup in it. There's no pickup underneath the saddle. And now we'll just tighten it back up. See how hard that is? You make short work of this stuff. I like to keep tension on the string while I'm winding them up. Tune them back up and give them a little stretch. The string action on this is still going to be fairly low. It should be. Boy, it's 5/64 now and 4/64. How about that? Isn't that cool? Zach, yeah, when I'm playing guitar, oh yeah. Hey Frank, brother, how you doing, man? Putting out some great music. Oh, Doc has cancer. I didn't know that. Wow. I don't follow his channel at all. I can't. I don't have enough time. I didn't know that. Wow, that's a... I'm sorry to hear that. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Wow. Oh, man. Now, I did realize last night when I got done with my stream that I had worn out every guitar pick that I own. They were all just dusted. You gotta smack them once in a while. Isn't that amazing how you just tap it? I love hitting the guitars with hammers, but you just hit it with a hammer once. Gotta be careful not to hit the strings while you're doing that. still need to raise this the string action on the treble side. Boy, if I could get it a 1/2 64th, I'd be happy. So, boy, I need to decide what I want to do here. Let's see, what do we got here? You know, this might do it. This might just do it. Let's put another shim in here, because you know, these shims were already in here. I have no idea who did it, but I know it was done. It was way too high already. But we gotta continue to raise this saddle. You know, this guitar has enough trouble at this point that, you know, having to do all this stuff on it, you can imagine how this kind of adds up when I'm talking about dollars and cents. And I probably could put a new saddle in here and get it just exactly right, but I'm going to use what's here. I feel like I'm being more efficient with time, and the repairs, I feel very confident that it's going to be right. So we're going to try one more shim, because the string action is right on the edge of where I would call it too low. Pull that out of there. Here's the shim. I didn't measure it. I don't know how thick it is. There we go. I'm going to drop this saddle right back in on top of this. Now I've put it the opposite direction of where it's bent, so it will flatten out in there and be nice. There we go. I'm not fond of how that thing wobbles a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. Again, we got to go through this process. And the other thing I have yet to do, as I'm sitting here raising the string action, is check the neck relief. Which, up in here, the neck relief isn't going to change anything. There we go. Almost there. Man, I'm getting hungry. Is anybody else hungry? Okay. Before I measure anything, let's check the neck relief. Alright, I'm guessing that it's going to be pretty darn close because of where I started and what I've experienced on these. But I'm just guessing, and we don't want to guess. We want to be accurate. So, let's see. So, we can add a little bit of neck relief. We're going to loosen the neck relief just a little bit. We're going to loosen the truss rod. One little turn, crack. Love that sound. Let's see. Now we're talking. Yeah, that's looking good. And let's check the string height. And we'll see where we're at. We are, oh boy, that's like 5.5, and boy, 4.5. You know, that little shim was just absolutely right. That was good. That was a good move. Good move. So let's try playing this thing again and seeing how it feels. We'll we'll see here. Let's see what happens. Woo, slap it. I think she's about ready. Well, what do you think? If it was your guitar, would you like it better than what it was, maybe? I know y'all haven't played it, but that's bugging me. That one's bugging me. Isn't that cleaner now? what you do. You chase frets. This one I may need to put some super glue on. Yeah, I can see that one's bouncing, so I am gonna. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna have to super glue that one down. So I got a little bit of fret problem to deal with, and I'm trying to do this as economically as I can without spending a boatload of time. So I am gonna put some CA glue on that, like I've said, and get that fixed. I know all I've got to do is get that one fret to set down, and it's just not staying put in the neck slot or the fret slot. So, and I'm gonna move on to other things now. One other quick note, just so you know what's going on in my world, is that that is a mid-70s Yamaha Acoustic that, let's see, I've repaired a break in the neck. I've repaired some major dings in the binding, and then right there where all those clamps are doing their business, the body, the top piece, it's separated from the kerfing, whatever you want to call it. And I had to re-glue that and flatten the top out. So I've got some more work to do on that today, but I'm letting it sit until tomorrow because I had to wet the glue down quite a bit to get the glue to penetrate into all the spaces where the separations were. It was very tight quarters. But that guitar is about ready to come back to life. I've just got to do some finish work ultimately on that one. So let's see. Oh, and look at that. Isn't that out of focus? Oh, wait. Oh yeah, look how out of focus that is. That's awesome. Let me see if I can, did that help? Maybe if I go stand, there it goes. Now you can sort of see it. So, I've got a bunch of more work to do on that one, but not a ton. So I expect maybe, I've got students all afternoon. I'll be teaching students until the end of my day today, so I'm about out of work time for working on guitars today. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna say one thing to one person. No, let me see. I'm gonna say 3 words to one person. Let me get this out of the way. Circle of fourths, root notes, blues scale, E and A position. There you go. You want to own your bar chords, circle of fourths, root notes, and you'll know them. And you already know enough to be very dangerous. So I hope the person that needed to hear that heard that. And I'm going to get going now. And I want to thank everybody who stopped in. Big thanks for popping in and saying hi. Frank, thanks for being here. Falcro, hello. Kingers, oh boy. Oh, Jade Star, wow. Axiom, wow. Yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate everybody being here, and hopefully I've shared something that somebody may have learned something from, and maybe you can use it in the future to help maintain your own instruments. This is how I learned how to do it, although I didn't have the internet. I had guys at Apple Music, and they were fantastic. I had to take a bus to go watch a YouTube stream, but I got to stand right in front of the dudes and learn this shit. It was awesome. All right, everybody, have a great, wonderful Thursday. I'm trying to regulate. I had Monday off. It's really weird. I keep thinking today's Wednesday. trippy. All right, people. Peace. Thanks for being here, Charlie. Bless you, brother. And good health to everybody. It seems like people are getting sick, and boy, I hope I didn't just catch a cold, right? No, something's making me sneeze. Bless you all. Have a wonderful Thursday.